Bam! What's happening, everybody? See who we got tonight. What's happening, Lisa? What's happening, John? What's happening, Jim? Lloyd? Larry Brown? My brother Vince, Cars and More? John Cerna? Michael Moore? Nolan? Matt Frost in the house? The Fat Lack? Brother Junior? We got Iowa in the house? Travis in the house? Steven Mora. And I definitely appreciate you guys tuning in. Brother Sean. Caliente. What's up, my brother? Lloyd said, kill Rudy. James Martinez. My brother Lamuel. Nah, definitely appreciate it, man. Brother Randy in the house. Man, first of all, let me tell you guys, I'm sure you guys are the same thing, man. It is cold everywhere. I don't care what's going on. It's crazy. Let me tell you guys. I'm sure most of you guys, Brother Chris, Cincinnati in the house, Cordell, took off work tonight to hang out. Man, I appreciate that, brother. And I know some of you guys are in some warm places. We got some Florida. Oh wow, it's cold in Florida, John said. Wow. Mark Rubio, what's up, Brother Rob? Tunes in the house. Yep, Lloyd said ice cubes, man. It's crazy. Just about to snow. Are you serious, Brother Cars and More? Just about to. And where are you at again? You're up in Washington, right, Vince? Cold, and we are expecting storms tomorrow. Man, it's no joke everywhere. It's, man, I see like weather went through Kansas. I see, man, I'm sure Lisa and all them. Yeah, it snowed in Lawrence. Supposed to get some more. Yeah, let me tell you, today it was like kind of nice. Sun came out for just a minute, and then all of a sudden about 11 o'clock, it just crazy. We're talking like crazy. Well, tonight, man, I tried to set it up. I lowered my light some. Portland's supposed to get crazy snow here. That's crazy, man, just everywhere. Brother Dio, Truchas, 4 inches. John, yeah, that's crazy, man. And so I lowered my light. I'm not wearing the hat thing. I know I got a few comments, you know, and I do appreciate the positive feedback from people. Manuel, hey Manuel, I appreciate the care package, brother. Really, man. Me and Rudy are like a blessing, brother. Really, man. Appreciate it, man. That's a blessing, brother. Let me tell you. But I lowered the light. Got another light set up. So hopefully you guys are able to see good. Everything going on. I won't have it on my head. I know I got a few people, which I do appreciate the feedback, even when it's negative, but in a good way. You know, a few people said, man, it's just too shaky. And like I say, I appreciate, definitely appreciate the feedback. You know, I'm trying to make it better every week. Brother E. Brown in the house. Eldon in the house. You know, I'm trying to better every week, trying to figure out the lighting, trying to figure out the camera a little closer. You know, we went through all kinds of technical difficulties there, you know, till I had to upgrade my, upgrade the internet service, of course. You know, they'd be with the little button over there. The more you pay, the more they turn the little button up, you know what I mean? And I know that's funny, Travis, trying to watch Adams as well. Man, and I wish, let me tell you, you know, let's put it this way. If I was able to do it on a Tuesday, which I'm not sure, that would be the only other day that I'm free. Because I know a lot of you guys watch Adams too. And trust me, man, Adam's a good friend of mine. And speaking of that, let's give a shout out. Adam is having the pinstriping class tomorrow. He's hosting the pinstriping class out there in Salt Lake City. And I think he still had a couple spots left. If you're anywhere in that area, and man, it's gonna be an all-day class Saturday. I think it's like $3.99. It's at his warehouse not at his actual house, but it's at his warehouse out there. I forget. I don't know how far it is from where he lives. What's happening, girl? My daughter in the house. But I think he still had a few spots left for Saturday. So if you're up in that area, man, definitely hit him up. And like I say, Adam's definitely an encouragement to me too, man. We try to keep cool. You know, most of us in the painting, man, we should really keep it cool with each other. Back in the day, used to be a lot of hate, jealousy. And trust me, there still is that out there. But man, trying to work on it. You know, it's like, man, you know, we should be in a position to where we're like hoping the best for our other brothers and sisters out there that are trying to do this. And you know, competition is always good. Lisa said to say hi, Deja. What do you call it? Which competition is good. You know, and then you get some people that have nasty hearts. It boils down to a nasty, ugly heart. And it is what it is. You know what I mean? It's like one of those things. And trust me, I'm not perfect. I get in a mode too sometimes where it's like, man, we shouldn't be like that where we see people doing good and we hate on them. It should be the opposite. You know, there's plenty of work out there for everybody. So definitely. So like I say, tonight, you know, I struggle every week with what I'm going to do. It's like, man, it's as bad as coming up with something, you know, And of course, I wanted to show you guys my brother Vince, one of the, brother Vince Cars and More that's on here. He bought this piece from last week. The piece we did, the wood grain. And, you know, kind of wanted to show you how that turned out. Some of you guys, I know it's late where you're at. You weren't able to see the finished product. And, man, it came out really good. You know what I mean? Got the different shades of wood grain, you know, where we did the gold, candy gold over the wood grain, the tangerine orange. So this will be getting shipped up tomorrow. You know, I wanted to kind of keep it and kind of show you guys, you know, like I usually do what we did last week. Some of you guys aren't able to see exactly what we did. So this is the piece, of course, did last week. It'll be getting shipped out to Brother Vince tomorrow. So definitely appreciate that. You guys that offered to buy the piece. There's a few people. And Homeboy just did it right after the live last week. So, man, I definitely appreciate the support. And then I did, before we move on, you know, hey, could you grab the Royals piece? And I know I've been slacking on the Royals piece, man. I know you guys have, quite a few of you guys bought the raffle ticket for that. Some people bought 3-4 piece tickets. I still have a lot of pieces left. So of course that's this piece. And of course you gotta be, I mean, it's either you gotta love it, you gotta love my work, or you gotta be from somewhere in that area. These are the spots I have left for anybody that wants a spot. I haven't posted it on Facebook. Man, that's my bad. You know what? It's like, it's, what would you call it? That's crazy. The camera is, it's literally backwards. You got the KC going the other direction.
Looks right.
Is it?
Yeah.
On mine, it's not. The KC's facing this way. No, it's upside down.
Oh, now it is.
Yeah. That's crazy. So, of course, back to that. The camera must be switched. If it ain't one thing, it's another, but that's all right. So, still got some spots left. Whatever, I don't care if I don't even sell all the pieces, the rest of the squares. Next Thursday, I will do the raffle, and whoever gets it that bought a spot. You know what I mean? So, man, I appreciate it, man. He'll take number 7. Write that on there. Anybody else want a spot for this piece? It's a 12 by 32 inch, same what we're going to be doing tonight. Kansas. Let's see. So, what's happening, Dad? My dad's on the live too, watching. Love you, Dad. Appreciate you. So, let's see. So, like I say, tonight we're going to be doing ribbons. I'm going to be doing ribbon with some lace in it. You know, kind of want to do, there's quite a few ways to do ribbons. I'm going to be doing one of my favorite ways, and it's actually, wow, 2 degrees in Leadville. That's crazy. I'm gonna be doing, of course, it's kind of the picture that you see. That is the, what would you call it? The picture on the live that I sent you guys and the people watching. Anjay, what's happening, my brother? That is my brother Rudy, another Rudy Chavez. It's he had 3 surfboards on his 50. I forget what he calls it. It's a box. It's like a shoe box. And I did 3 surfboards for him. Flames on one side, and I did each one something else on the other side, and it's got a ribbon on it. That's the picture I use. We're gonna be doing something similar. Hey, and Lisa said she'll take another number.
What number?
These are the numbers I have, Lisa, while I'm talking. And of course, he got 7, which he marked it, I think.
Yeah, but his name's on there.
Boom, so we'll do that. Man, I definitely appreciate the support, man. And let me just tell you, too, before I move on, I know I like to chit-chat a little bit before we get going, but, man, let me tell you, I cannot say enough about everything you guys are doing. Like I say, most of you guys, I have your number. And let me just tell you, my number is in the description. You know, definitely, if you're on here and I haven't communicated with you, man, text me your name, who you are on. She'll take number 3. Okay. Who you are on the live here, and that way I have your phone number. And man, people send me what they're working on. Man, like Nolan just sent me a piece he's working on. Man, super amazing job he just did. And he ordered board, the pre-flake board from me, and just did an awesome job on it. Very good job. And then Manuel said his son will take 20.
Does he put Manuel's name for 20? Or?
And Lisa said she'll take 17.
Yeah, I got it.
Boom, boom, boom.
What's his son's name?
What's your son's name? And then, so like I say, man, I appreciate you guys definitely. Soon, so Travis, let me tell you, I got some very good news. Finally, I've been telling you guys, and probably you guys are like, yeah, sure, Rob. You're going to be selling clear. You're going to be selling all that. Man, it's been a process, man. This company I'm trying to get from super, how would you put it? They just don't sell to anybody. So, you know, I have to write kind of a letter of what I want to do with their products, you know, what my plan is. And finally, yesterday, talking with them, I'm going to be putting in a huge order. Man, between me and Blast, we're ordering like 50 gallons of clear. Gonna have some super thick clear. Gonna have the one that I've been calling my secret recipe one, which is compared to like Matrix 42. Gonna be having inner coat clear that will compare against House of Colors, the nebulizer. Gonna be having silver. Gonna be having black, white, everything you need to get done what we're doing. And gonna have concentrates. It's gonna be a higher end. They're more like PPG Matrix. So I'm gonna have to try to figure out on the prices. It's not gonna be that much more, but it is gonna be not as how do you put it? It'll be not as expensive as House of Colors, but a little bit higher than probably Orion and a few other. So man, I'm excited. And like I'm hoping literally he's sending me out a couple more samples of some different thick clear, high solids. Man, really broke it down, explained to me what's happening, Brother John. Explained to me really as from the chemist side. Man, it's good to get some real good insight. And it's like, man, so like I say, it's a blessing, man. I'm looking forward to that. And like I say, gonna be very good prices, man, on clear. On the same thing, very competitive. So it'll be like, I think everybody right now selling the inner coat clear. I know like Orion, Tammy, all of them, it's around the 160 mark. I'll stick with that. I'll be right around that. If not, beat that price a little bit. You know, the clears around the 200 mark to that thicker clear, probably about 225, 230 maybe. But very high end. That's what I've been using for the last year personally myself. And you got to think I've been using House of Colors, PPG, Matrix, Orion, everything you can think of. You know, this last 3 or 4 years, I've been able to try everything. And this is something I'm truly standing behind. American made. And so I'm excited. So, and of course, you know, I appreciate all you guys on here. I know, like I say, thank you for sending pics, each and every one of you guys. I'm talking like blessed, and any of you guys that are still, I know like Lisa, man, she's almost set up, ready to start going. Quite a few people. It's like, man, finally getting all their stuff together. They've got, their booth set up, all of those things, and ready to start going, man. I want to continue to encourage you guys. You know what I mean? So here we go. Like I said, we're gonna do a ribbon. This is gonna be a cool thing because it's gonna give some depth. It's kind of the picture you see, what I sent you guys alive, or what's posted on the live, is basically what we're gonna be doing, just a little bit different. It's gonna be able to show you the ribbon with some lace in it, with some patterns behind it. So we're gonna have kind of a 3D, kind of in the depth area. So of course I'm gonna come in the usual. We'll be using J-tape, 3M. I have plenty of this all in stock too, same thing. You know me, I'm gonna run this just time-wise, 1/4 inch, 3M for the frame. And of course some of this, my camera, this is a 12 by 32 inch like we use for the classes, the board, and of course the camera ain't gonna pick up all of it, so I'll try to move it around for you guys to see, and hopefully you guys are able to see. Man, that's a blessing, Brother E. Brown in San Jose, California. Man, I appreciate that. That means a lot. I know, you know what, I have a car out there that I painted. Let me tell you, for my brother Boxer out here in Albuquerque, a 68 convertible. It's out there in the San Jose area. I painted that thing, man, I painted that probably in 1999. Man, and it still looks really good. The first ever, I put an Impala on the hood, a huge Impala on the hood. One of the first ones to do that back then. We started kind of as one of the ones to putting like the Cadillac emblems on the hood, which it got really old after a while. But the Doc and me, I think about the same time, he did a 64. I done that 68, and it put like an Impala on the hood and had the patterns going underneath it. And that thing is still out there looking good. Okay. So of course, got my 1/4 inch. Manuel sent us some razor blades, some Windex, some gloves. Candy. Not candy, but candy. Snickers, some beef jerky. Man, I truly appreciate that, my brother. Cut these little borders. I'll try to move it to where you guys can see it. Hope everybody's doing good the start of this year. Lisa said I sanded my boards. Just got a heater so I can start because it's been cold. I know it sucks, man. When it's cold like that, Lisa, and I'm sure everybody, man, it's discouraging. I'm out here in my garage too, connected to my house. You guys see I insulated it. And it's like, man, and it's actually pretty warm right now. I got the diesel heater, like I said, I had to buy a new one. And it's still, it's just, kind of discouraging, you know what I mean? If we woke up, we're blessed. We sure are, man. We be complaining about some crazy stuff sometimes. I'm guilty of it. So, of course, I got my 1/4 inch 3M. I'm going to run just some low end J-tape, 3/4 inch, just to protect my edge, where we can run anything over it. Like I always tell you guys, this is, man, a lot of people won't put this, what I'm doing, and then they'll run their tape over it and they'll have to cut every little line. This way, you're just able to run it over it. Jim said, my shop is insulated and I have a furnace. Man, that's a blessing. I know I got a lot of people, they have like a gas furnace, really nice. Brother Brian said wind chill 10 here this weekend. Wow. And Brother Travis said, I'm planning to incorporate your box style fade with my roof panel job on my 52. Man, what a blessing. And like I say, man, Travis, send me. My number is in the description, brother. You know, say this is Travis, you know, from YouTube. Man, send me what you're working on, brother. Most people know I do. Most people know I'm a decent communicator. I mean, there's times where I can't communicate back, but I will get back to people. So now we got that frame. And of course, it's like, you seen that picture. I'm trying to, and when you're doing ribbons, you need some space. You know, you can shrink down the ribbon as much as possible. And let me tell you, so and I wish I had some pictures to show you guys. I wish, man, there's several different ribbons. There's the style that turns kind of like a snake, kind of goes like this. There's the curl. There's the overlap. And like I say, we'll be doing more of them. Tonight, I'm going to do the standard, my favorite, and it's the easiest to do. You guys are going to be like, man, that's hard, but it's not, man. It's really easy. You know what I mean? Little Mix Confetti World Tour. Hello, my brother. So, I'm going to come in. And of course, let's see. Trying to think if I want to split this and try to fit two like on that picture. I think we might just do one ribbon across. So these look like flames. They kind of look like flames. Any plans for any classes this year? Man, let me tell you, Chris, I've got one of my brothers, Juan from Chicago, wants me to go out there. Somebody in New Jersey, Dino, wants me to go out there. I'm really trying to pray about if I'm going to do any classes this year or if I'm going to wait till 2025. So we'll see. You guys will know real soon here within the next 3 weeks. I'll keep you guys in the loop for sure. But if it would be, it'd probably be, of course, Chicago, a couple other areas, and possibly here, but we'll see. So this is going to look like flames, but it's not. And I know some of you guys from the class, I kind of went around, showed you guys this method. I'm going to do it a little bit slower. Usually in the class, I'd be like zipping around, like doing some flames. You know what I mean? So I know come to Florida, I know we're still, man, that's one big thing for sure. And this is one of those things where you look at, you're like, okay, what's he doing? And then it starts to make sense. And of course, you know the standard deal. Everybody gets sometimes a tattoo, and then they get whatever name put in it. This would be the style we're doing tonight. And like I say, there's so many cool things you can do with it. Like I say, that the picture on the thing, there's more space. That was a surfboard. You know, I split it down the middle. I did a ribbon on this side. I did a ribbon on this side, which we could shrink it down on this board. And you got to think this board is still pretty big. And just because, you know, the ribbon, you do need some space. And of course, the ribbons, man, really came back 80s. And of course, they're before that. I mean, before that even, but they're real popular in the 80s, 90s with some of the mini trucks. The first kind of lowrider, not really graphic mini trucks, but more like the lowrider style. And this would be one of these, man. This is how I learned how to do this ribbon. Is, you know, one of the trucks, I forgot what it was, one of my customers wanted, in which I never used to do that. I mean, I did the first couple years where I literally looked at something in lowrider and I tried to copy it. The first couple years, he brought me a magazine. He's like, hey, I want this on my mini truck. Man, Jerry Archuleta from here. And man, that was really my first time trying to figure this out. And that's basically, like I tell you guys, even in the class, it's like, that's basically how it works, man. You know, sometimes, and I still look at pictures. You know what I mean? I know, Chris, you got to think, everybody, Chris on here from Cincinnati, you got to think that's far away from Albuquerque, New Mexico. He flew all the way out here for the class here in Albuquerque. And such a blessing. Like I say, it's just family. And of course, here in Albuquerque, man, Corey sets up a cruise to where there's a cruise on Saturday. Man, it's in, you know, the lowrider scene out here is pretty big, especially when Corey's having a cruise. So now I'm gonna start. You're gonna start seeing this kind of come to life. And of course, you know what? You know it's crazy too. It's gonna be backwards because of this camera.
Your dad said put a lightning bolt right through the center of it.
Yeah, put a lightning bolt, my dad.
Like,
I know, that's funny.
He texted me to tell you that.
I know. You know what? I'm gonna try to turn. I'm gonna try to turn this camera. Hopefully it works out. So sorry for the inconvenience, everybody. For the ribbons going the right direction. Exactly, Manuel. That's really okay. There we go. So that'll work. Except for, let's see, the camera's more this way. Let this adjust real quick, guys. I want it the right direction for you guys. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. And that's how I did it, literally. Looking through Lowrider magazine, going through whatever style I liked, and I would copy it. I'd pick whatever patterns I liked, and I'd copy it for the first couple of years, and then I started coming up with my own stuff. And that's basically what it's all about. So I always tell people, like at the class, man, don't be discouraged. Man, I still to this day, man, I will still look at my own work. I'll look at, let me tell you, you guys know those real expensive RVs, like the high-end ones, big ones, that are painted nice with patterns, and they got the swirls on them. Man, I will still get some stuff. You know, I'll still get ideas from those things. So it's like, man, it's you know, if you think I just come out here, which I do sometimes, but not all the time, you know, to be creative, sometimes things just don't flow like they should. And it does take a second. And people do go through writer's block. You know what I mean? Hey, thank you, my brother Scott from Tennessee. I appreciate you, brother. And people do go through writer's block, man. And you, like, you know, we've talked about, man, so many things have already been done in the lowrider scene, you know, with patterns. So many things have been done. You know, back when I first started, you know, the name of my shop was Innovative Styles. And you know, we were still innovating new styles. There was still things to be, you know, made up, styles to be made up. And now it's like, man, I hate to say it's like almost everything's been done. And it's a matter of just adding detail to it and changing it up a little bit. But so here I'm running all of these. It's gonna make sense once I start cutting, and hopefully you guys are able to see it. Exactly, Dio. We are our worst critic. Man, if you're an artist, it's like, man, I gotta say, it's like, it is, we are our worst critic. You know, like I say, most of the time we could do something and people would really like it. But until we're happy with it, I could really care less what anybody else thinks. And I'm not saying that in a rude way. You know, that it's just, man, that's the way it is. So I'm going to go through, before I finish over here, I'm going to go through. Now these, with the razor blade, man, and this lighting is still, Brother Mark in the house. Boom. Oh yeah, gonna rub it in. Brahms milk before bed. Rub it in, bro. Rub it in, Mark. Laugh out loud. So with this, wherever these are, you don't want to come in and cut with the razor blade. You want to literally lift it up in these areas. You want to lift it up. Like I say, most time you would cut right here, but you don't want to do that. You want to lift it up, and when you're laying out the tape, you want to make sure you're laying it perfectly over each other. Now, let me see. I need to like move. Let me try to move this board a little bit more that way. See if that works a little bit. Get a little brightness. Actually, this way. We'll eventually get this. See what that, there we go. That looks a lot better. Except for, of course, it looked better than I moved it. Maybe tilt the camera, yep. Right now, we'll tilt it that way. There we go. Okay, boom. So back to this though, you want to lay it perfectly over the 1/8 inch. Just kind of put the razor blade there, lift it up. And same thing here, you can do the same thing here. Come lift it to where you don't even got to cut at all. And lots of times we do got to cut. But this one you don't. I mean, if you literally put the blade there, lift it up. Like I said, it's real important not to cut this area. Like I say, I've seen it split open. I mean, when I first did it, back to that, learning, trying to figure it out, the first times I did it, man, I did cut it and it would split open, especially if it was summertime, the heat, you would have a little sharp point where you know, where I cut it and it starts opening up, you know, some of those turns. So it's like, man, it's just little tricks you learn, you know, because that's a huge thing, man. Your work being clean as far as leak throughs. I've told you guys before, if you got any leak throughs, any bleeders where the paint got in between the tape, you know, little cracks and crevices, you want to go back and clean those areas up. And I'll clean them with the razor blade. If there's a leak through once, let's say this was all taken off and I have a bleed through right there, man, I will go back with the razor blade, even my shaky butt. I'll go in and clean that up as good as I can. You want to always go, because that will make a difference. Let me tell you guys, that's a huge make it or break it. You'll see people do some cool patterns and it's like, man, they didn't spend the time. What, I don't care if it's 8 hours, a whole car, you got to go 8 hours, clean up every little spot, spend the 8 hours. It's that important. You know what I mean? Because, man, that will make it or break. Super cool patterns, but all kinds of, it looks like real sloppy because you didn't go back and clean it up. And I tell you guys that with the most love, you know, that I can. You know, it's back to that. You know, it's speaking truth. I'd rather hear truth. Just like I said, you know, some of the people, they're like, Rob, man, it's shaky, man. I love watching your videos, but I can't do it. It's just too shaky. You know, I want to hear that. That way I can try to fix it. You know what I mean? We don't want to sugarcoat nothing. Like I say, I'm trying to figure it out. You know, it's like lighting. Like even now, it's like, I mean, it seems all right now. And like I say, you know, I appreciate your feedback. So same thing, I'm coming in here. Do you guys kind of see it coming to life? And this is really simple. I'm telling you guys, it's a simple, it looks hard. You might have like a little bit of a deformed ribbon at first. And it's just a matter of trying to get your proportions right. You always want to swing right here. Fat, come skinny. fat around the turn, skinny, you always want to get that little curve in there. You know, this little curve, you just don't want to go down straight. You want to make it look like a real ribbon, like it's literally wrapping around. You know what I mean? Appreciate it, deal. So, let's see. So I got one more. I got a curve here. And of course, whether you're left-handed or right-handed, man, it's like, say this side's easy for me to do. This side is awkward to do. Of course, I'll come off this way. We can come off this way because I'm a good coming from left to right versus going right to left. That just depends, whatever, if you're right-handed or left-handed. And until you get the right proportion, like I say, I'll continue to do it. And if I don't like it, I'll tear it off. I'll start over. See, like that's still wrong proportion. So you need to kind of get it a little bit fatter. A little bit there and then curve it there. I'm gonna stick with that right there. Boom, come in here. So boom, we got that there. So now, and like I say, we're gonna end up doing lace in here. So the first thing I'm gonna tape back to this is the puzzle taping. Back to this. So maybe flip the board. This is actually the right direction, Travis, on this one. I flipped the camera. So we're back right. It was upside down. So now I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna mask this up. So we're gonna do puzzle taping. And I'm gonna come in. There's a bunch of different ways you could do. So say a lot of people will come back with the white tape, the white mask, put it over it. They will have to go with the razor blade around every deal. Man, that's just a lot of razor blading to me that I don't like to do. So it's like I'll come in with the 1/2 inch. I'll come in with this 1/2 inch. And the thing is, the trick too, you want to kind of do it, go around. You don't want to come over here, over here, over here, over here, over here. You want to kind of keep going. That way when you're untaping it, we can literally untape and it'll untape the whole way up and make it easier. You know what I mean? I know, need more lighting for sure. I know it's kind of dark. It is crazy. And I lowered the light. So I lowered the light. I have another light here my daughter brought in. Boom, boom, boom. Huh? So boom. So I'm going to come along here. Same thing, gonna come along here. Like I say, we're just gonna keep following. I'll go just to right there for now. But man, I'm very impressed. Everything you guys been working on. That's what it's all about, man. Continuing to just learn from mistakes. Learn from trial and error, adding more tricks to that toolbox of tricks. Very impressed, man. So smooth, Rob. Turning 1/2 inch. Yeah, there you go. I appreciate it, Steve. And it's just a matter, a lot of you guys too, man, see, like the first time you take the class, man, when people have never turned tape before, it's like, man, I was thinking this was going to be a lot easier. And of course, like, Steve said, turning this 1/2 inch, we're getting around that edge. We don't care about these wrinkles on the inside. You know, that as long as we're going, like this would work the same way if I was taping flames. Same aspect, especially flames. Flames are such a good tool to learn. And that's how I learned. You know, my dad, back in the day, he worked for the city, but he always had a side job for extra money out in the driveway almost every weekend, where he was painting some car, doing something. And of course, he had a 1929 International truck, all hot rodded out. He would paint that thing every year. And one of my favorite years when he did flames on it. And I mean, I grew up, flames was the thing. I would doodle all during class, not paying attention to the teacher. I would be drawing cars that weren't even out yet, like concept cars, always doodling flames. And of course, I got old enough, got my first car. My grandpa gave me a 1966 Coronet, and my dad and I put flames on it. We were spraying that thing. I think I would have been about 16. We were spraying that thing wintertime. It was snowing outside. It was an outdoor paint booth that would suck in the air from outside. I think it was, I forgot what it was. It was like 28 degrees or something outside. Man, we're spraying that thing, but you know, it's like back to the whole flames. Man, it's such a good thing. Like I said, I got to the point where I real boring, real sick of them. You know, when I did my first lowrider, I was like, screw flames. Man, this is like, you know, I just fell in love because you're able to do something, express it, make it your own, and something different. But you can't discount flames, how much it teaches you, taping wise, turn wise. I mean, really getting those turns down good. So now I'm literally just gonna come, I'm cutting where this 1/2 inch overlapped. And basically we just outlined with the 1/2 inch around that whole thing. Now I'm gonna come back, fill in with the 3/4 inch real quick. Try to tear as much as possible to where you're not cutting. And you know, you can always grab it. You can always like tear it to where it's gonna work out. And I'll put my finger there and I'll tear that direction to where I don't gotta cut it. So same thing, this will untape pretty easy. See, and I'll come that way. Boom. And then that, there's a little leak through, might have got right there. So I'll tear up this. And with my shaky butt, what's my saying? If I can do it, you can do it. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, I'm still trying to make my eyes coordinate with my hand holding the tape. Yep, and you'll get it, Lisa. You will. You will get it. Eli is up in here, a local from Borque 505. Rob's live and direct with his talent. Thanks, brother, man. I really appreciate that, my brother. Thank you for the love. And Lisa, you'll get it. Like all you guys that are still messing with the tape, trying to get it to turn and do your thing. Man, it's just a matter, it's a hard thing. I mean, if we are really, like I tell people, some of my interviews, man, I turn tape for a living. It's insane. When you really think about it, the way I have paid my bills for the last, you know, since I was 18, or I mean, even before that, I turn tape. I make shapes with it. I mean, when you think about it, I know that sounds kind of crazy, but it's like, it's literally turning tape, and it's not an easy thing. Literally making artwork with tape, making shapes, making designs. Like I tell people, man, if you know, it just matters the culture you grow up in. You got to think, I'm a white boy here in Albuquerque. What if my grandparents decided to go to literally Tennessee, move somewhere out there? Would I be doing? Absolutely not. I wouldn't be painting lowriders. You know, it's where you grow up, whatever story that God's writing for you. You know, like You know, even through all the craziness, you know, all the craziness, you got to think my parents were probably tripping out, you know, painting stuff for drug dealers, gangbangers, and all kinds of craziness, all the people. I was pretty much an honorary gang member to almost every gang you can think of in everywhere. Whoever's car I was painting, it's like, and you got to think, you know, if you're an artist, you adapt to wherever you're at. So back to that, if I grew up native, man, I would be doing pottery. I would be doing some wicked designs on blankets. You know, it's the same concept. You got to think, especially lowrider patterns. It's patterns, designs, and it's got a meaning behind it. And especially, man, you know, I one of my friends, Bruce, I painted a guitar for him, and his grandma's pottery artwork from Acoma. I mean, she was like a big thing back 100, whatever it would have been, I think 80 years ago, some Acoma artwork. And of course, there's a story behind it, from rain to, you know, every little thing had a meaning to it, but it's in patterns. You know what I mean? So it's just, you know, it's adapting to wherever you're at. And like I say, it's like, man, I just fell in love with doing the lowrider patterns, you know, from flame, you know, back, this whole story started from the flames. And it's like, flames really will teach you those turns. You know what I mean? Nashville, Tennessee, checking in, man. I'm sure you would be taping up some sick paint jobs, even if you were out here, man. Definitely. I used to joke around, man. If I was out there, we'd be doing some 4-wheel drive. We'd be doing some, you know, something like that. But man, it's, you know, it's. So there, we got the ribbon all taped up. This is ready taped. So now I'm gonna run some stuff over this to where we can get some 3D behind it. And kind of like the picture you've seen, and like I say, we'll be doing lace inside the ribbon. It just ends up really cool. And of course, you know, I could run, you know, we could figure out, I'm not gonna get too crazy with what we're doing here. You know, I'm just trying to teach you guys kind of the whole, how would I put it? The different levels, how to get the levels. And of course, you'll see that when we're done, you'll be able to see kind of the whole process from the frame to the ribbon being taped first, to masking up the ribbon, to now what we're gonna do, the process of undoing it. So let's see. It's like, and like I say, I'm not gonna do something crazy. We're just gonna we'll stick with some straight lines going through it, because we're mainly focusing on the ribbon tonight. You could do whatever though. Back to this, man, where you could do designs coming through it. Man, that's gonna look like it's underneath. The ribbon's gonna look like it's on top. And no matter what you do, if we're doing straight lines, if we're doing whatever it may be, you know what I mean? So, Alejandro in the house. Marshalltown, Iowa, checking in, looking good. I appreciate you, my brother. How's the weather where you guys are at? Okay. So we will, let's see. So I'm gonna do a corner. We will do a corner to corner. I should probably keep it simple, but you know me, it's like. So I'm just gonna go corner to corner. Cold with a lot of snow, my brother. Whew. About to get real cold here. I bet, man, it's coming. Like I say, a lot of you guys, we get what you get. Like, so like Kansas, at least, man, it's like one day before we're getting it. Of course, everything comes from California and works all the way out that way. It's like, man, we'll get it. And a day later, in Kansas, you guys are getting it. And then, of course, Iowa, you guys are getting it probably a day and a half later. You know, you got Tennessee or Kentucky. It's like, man, 2 days, depending on how fast it is. So I did just Just the 1/8 inch, I mean quarter inch there. In fact, watch, let me throw, like I say, there's no rules to this. We're gonna come in, I'm gonna do an 1/8 inch. We'll try to just break it up. Like I say, the main thing is the ribbon tonight, and then the layering and the ribbon. That's the key thing tonight. Of how cool you can make something look, the layering of it, if you do it in the right steps. And like I say, this is back to my puzzle taping. Last week, you know, last week we did, of course, the wood grain, and that would be one pattern at a time. You know, and that's a whole nother style. You tape it up, you shoot one pattern, you untape it. You tape another pattern. You guys are used to me doing the whole, yeah, there you go. Tasteful overkill cherry, bro. Brother Lloyd. And you guys are used to me doing the puzzle taping, you know, and that's not all. That's just like my signature thing, you know, with the 3 shades, 3 fade. But, you know, there's so many styles. Like I say, back in the day, man, I used to have, you know, some of my favorite, the Doc, Didi and Mondo from Phoenix, kind of did the fade style. You take a piece of this, you take a piece of that, and you make it your own. I'm gonna come in with some 3/4 inch. We'll try to make this kind of quick. Same thing, come in with the 3/4 inch. Same thing over here. 3/4 inch. I'm gonna come in one more time so we get our 3 shades in there. In fact, we'll break it up. Let me break it up with the 1/2 inch. That's how we do it. Brother, you make the ribbon look so easy. I appreciate it, Jim. And like I say, it's really in that flame family. Once you get it, it looks, like you say, I make it look easy. And when you try it, it's so hard. Once you guys get it, you're like, oh my gosh, this was simple. You know what I mean? This was really simple. You know what I mean? Yep, old school fades versus all the stencils and graphics a lot of people are doing these days. And of course, Travis, you know, with me, I don't leave too much space for some of that stuff. I really wish I could, bro. Man, it's like, I wish I could leave some space. It's like even this, you know, it's like, man, I should leave a little, which I might. We might leave something right here and here. We'll see. So fact, let me come in, break out. Like I say too, I appreciate you guys. All of this tape is on the website too. 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, 1/16 inch. So I'm coming with the 1/2 inch 3M. That was 1/2 inch J tape next to it. 1/2 inch is mandatory to your arsenal. A lot of people, a lot of people don't even use 1/2 inch. It's not even in their arsenal, and it's so crucial, man. So crucial. So I'm literally gonna go, you could do this too. So for this, I'm gonna eye it, but I'm gonna show you guys like I always do. Man, if you're trying to get it perfect, put it right next to it. And then you can run you one, boom. If you're trying to get it perfect, I mean, personally, all these years, a lot of this, I mean, nowadays I do try to get it more accurate. But it's like, man, I mean, those you can eye. Speaking of AI, you know what I mean? You got the AI. AI is going to take, this is something, man, there's like a lot. I don't know, you guys see all the AI stuff going on. It's like, man, a lot of computer programmer and stuff like that, even teachers, it's going to be taking their jobs. Man, AI really couldn't take our jobs. Mechanics, you know, plumbers, electricians, you know, I guess they could, man, once they get the robots in there. It's like going wire your house and all this craziness. But man, for the most part, that's how do you put it? It's going to be a little bit harder, but man, all that programming, anything computer, man, and it's, imagine all the stuff, even hacking, how bad it's going to get here real soon. Literally. You may have oversaturated the candy on your tape. It's funny. Boom. And of course, man, I need to get some 1/2 inch from you, Rob, for sure, my brother John. I appreciate it. Definitely appreciate the support too, my brother. And then back to this, everybody. I know my brother Nolan on here, I was bragging on the piece he just did. Man, he just needed 3 colors from the 8-ounce ready mix. There is still a code up right now on the website for 3 colors. It would be $33.33 each. So it's $100 for 3 colors, 8-ounce, ready to spray. And I'll keep it up if anybody just needs 3 colors. And of course, there's the whole set, 8-ounce. There's the 4-ounce set on there. There's the 2-ounce set on there. So now I'm going to come in. This one I'm going to eye. So that one I measured just to show you guys. This one, it's like, man, and what you're basically doing, you're just going about a 1/2 inch away. You're using that gap. Like I always tell you guys, you know, don't make it complicated on yourself. You know, pick, you know, I got a style that I stick with it. When I'm doing something, I keep, like I show you guys, you know, we use a 1/4 inch. I'll go a 1/4 inch away from the edge. You know, I'll try to do that, you know, like this, an 1/8 inch. We'll do an 1/8 inch gap in between those. And it's kind of my routine that I always do to make it not so complicated. How long do I let the clear dry before I sand and then tape? So depending on how hot it is, Lisa, did you end up ordering that clear? The link I gave you? Depending on temperature, I mean, man, summer, man, you can let it dry overnight. You can sand them and you're ready to start going. Winter time, without some type of way to bake it, you got to let it dry a little bit more, especially with it so cold right now. It's like, man, I'm telling you, it's like, man, give it a couple days. Or if you have like a heater that you can keep the heater going, good for you. And that's what I'll be selling, that clear you got. That's what, man, I love it. So, you know, it's back to that. If you have a heat, you can keep in there. If you're in a hurry to get it baked, then you can kind of keep a heater going in there to kind of get them dry. You can sand them the next day and start taping, you know, as long as they're not super wet, you know what I mean? On a board I was doing really ticked me off, John said. Hold on, I was pretty heated. Lord. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so, seeing, like I say, I'm just trying to make up stuff as I go here. Get some other 3/4 inch. I'm not going to do too much more. So I'm going to come in. This is 3/4 inch. I'm going to come in a 1/2 inch away. I'm going to do the same thing over here, 1/2 inch. That'll leave 4 1/2 inch basically lines in there, kind of like the picture that I posted on this live. What's happening, Henry? Got to get with you to get them greens for sure, brother. I should be over here tomorrow too, brother. If not, we can try to figure it out. I retaped it and slowly tried to blend it back in.
Somebody had actually widen. candy pulled. He pulled the tape off.
Okay, got you. I must have missed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I missed the thing here.
That's
So
why you're confused.
got you. So brother John, it's like, man, or whoever, I think it was John. Joseph. Okay, Joseph. Man, a lot of times it's so with the candy, especially depending on which one. Like I hate to say, like House of Colors, the SG 100. Man, if you don't let that dry, I've had it too. Same thing where I peel, especially let's just say this ribbon, this sharp edge. Man, let's say I have all this stuff and I'm spraying inside that ribbon. I start to peel those 2 1/8 inch. Man, it'll peel the candy back down to the silver. Frustrating. I get you now. I know I kind of missed. Rudy had to break it down. You know, it's one of those things where it's like, man, certain of the inner coat clears you got to let dry like good. You know what I mean? And that's for the candy part. Summertime, certain ones, like I've had a lot of good luck with quite a few brands where it's like, man, in the summer you can just peel them off right away. You don't have any problem. I retaped it and slowly tried to blend it back in. I know, and you got to think, John, blending back in candy, man, it's almost impossible because it's going to darken up wherever it's meeting the candy. You know, the new candy you're spraying, you know, it's going to darken up. So it's hard. And a lot of times when I'm fixing things, it's like, I hate to say, man, I literally have to put a pattern. If let's say something like that happens, or let's just use even, in fact, let's use like somebody got an accident even on their bike. Let's say like their rear bags. It's like sometimes it's easier for you just to add a pattern on both sides than it is to try to fix it, because it's such a process to try to fix it right. And trust me, there's times where you can fix it right. It's a little process, but it's like, man, it's like a good one. So randomness, my brother Dale in the house. I'm late, but I'm here. But yeah, so back to the whole thing of the candy peeling up. It has happened to all of us, brother, and it is frustrating, real frustrating. And it's just a matter of letting it dry. I hate to say when it's cold or you've sprayed it too thick. I don't care if it is summer too. Man, let it dry overnight, especially with that. Especially, I know exactly, John said, good luck blending candy. It's a pain in the butt. It's the hardest thing we will do is fixing those things. So I guess I'm pretty much, let me put one more. And I'm going to cull it, and we're going to start spraying. I just had to go and put all this tape, no? Of course. Okay, so. Takes a rare to blend candy, man. It really does, man. It's just a pain in the butt, man. Yep. And of course, let me tell you, if it, like say like some of that, John or Joseph, man, if you're able, like let's say it peels up in a certain area, if you're able to come back, let's just say we had this issue in between here. Let's just say it peeled up. Personally, this is what I would do. I would wipe, especially when you're using intercoat clear. I'll go back, tape that up, make sure it's taped up good. I will wipe, like I think even Vince said, I will wipe with thinner that whole pattern back up again and start over, get the color back. Because if you're trying to blend in and it's peeled to there, even with whatever you end up sanding it, feathering it out, you're going to see it. It's going to look like a feathered candy pattern. You know what I mean? So that's, like I say, that's a hard thing, but that would be my opinion. But you can't do that in every situation. Especially if you're fixing something that you did 2 years ago, you know, back using the bike, you know, you're trying to fix, they got a scrape on the bag on the side. You know, it's better just to come in, add an actual pattern. And I hate to say you got to do it on the bag on the other side in order to make it happen if it's that hard of a spot. But that's just, you know, one way of doing it. I always tell people, you know, there's 3 ways to fix a job. To do it right, which is a pain in the butt, going to cost a lot of money to clear the whole whatever area you're doing. Number 2, add a pattern to it, clear the whole section too. color sand it back down, whatever. 3, get that brush out and hope for the best. You know what I mean? Touch it up with the brush. You know, it's like, man, you got A, B, and C. Which, of course, the brush is the low budget. You know, if you got an obvious through the candy to a silver and you're going to a show, you know, definitely go and touch it up. You know, if that's your only option right then, till you know, or, you know, back to that fixing it right, it's going to cost an arm and a leg, which it does. So now we got this empty space here. We got kind of that there. Today I am going to go back with my colors. I got red and gold mixed up. I was going to do the blue like on the thing, but it's like, man, I had red and gold, the PPS cups that were still good. I didn't want to waste them, so we are using, which is still one of my favorite colors, and we'll kind of make orange in between, of course, with it. So give me just a quick second. Before I candy, I pray to the candy gods. So nerve-wracking. Yep, that's a good one. Okay. Turn on the fan, and let's see here. So now I'm going to probably use, I got a bunch of these cool stencils. I still haven't put them on the website. Slacking. Way cool. Bunch of different shapes. Bunch of different things that could go inside there. Could go over here. And of course, let me turn this a little bit so you guys can see this probably a little bit better. But there's a bunch of different, you know, kind of this one. Way cool there too. This one looks cool. This one here too. Let me see what's real quick. Huh? Man, I'm not sure what I'm going to charge for these yet. I'm going to do probably a set of 6. I think for like 20 bucks. I know that's a good one, Daniel. Yep. The 10, need to get the 10K. And let me tell you, please, you guys, I know a lot of you guys on here. I know you guys, please press the like button. It helps me. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I appreciate you guys. Really do. It's snowing again here, Brian said. Ugh. Always pray before I spray. Yep. I know one of my brothers, took the class several times. Jesse, he lives down in Carlsbad. He started doing pray before you paint. Kind of made a little logo of that, man. I thought that was cool. I'm kind of going through some of my... I mean, there's a whole bunch of cool ones. Got the honeycomb, of course. You know, a lot of people are doing the stick-on ones. You know, this is just, you know, that could go do that there. With that. There's some kind of rose ones. You know, it's back to that picking which ones you like. I mean, a bunch of cool kind of like broken glass. Cobwebs, you know, it's like a whole bunch of different cool ones. Yeah, 6 for 20, yep, is a deal. And these ones you can reuse. Man, they're really nice. It's really nice material. They're like a nice size too. It's like, man. So sorry I'm being real picky with what I'm going to use. Darn artist. About like bricks. I definitely appreciate you guys. We'll go with it's hard to choose, man. Webs and roses, he said. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, you know what? So we'll do webs right there. I'll do something on this side. I'll do the roses on this side, and we'll do the web on this side. So hopefully you guys, you guys can see this side, and then I'll move this side to where we can see a little bit. And let me just tell you too, like there's a couple cool, personally, I mean, you could just literally spray, Linda said, yeah, rose for Valentine's Day. You could literally spray just black, and that would be cool. But me, I like to spray, and we're not going to tonight, but I'm just giving you guys like a cool thing. I will spray white first, right? And then I'll barely move it. You can move the stencil over just barely, and then spray the black. And then when you candy over it, man, it looks 3D because you got kind of that white little edge that gives it like a little 3D. And it's just way cool. And some of these too, like this one, I can see there's still a couple little pieces where the laser cutting didn't get out. Didn't get it out good. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. All right. Go again here. Boom, boom, boom. Like I say, you could totally go in with a little white, move the stencil, especially this one's a little bit tighter. Like let's say the rose one would be really good to kind of do the white and then move it a little bit. And of course, a lot of this stuff, man, you guys don't get to see some of the detail on the live versus when you get to see the board out in the sun. You get to see the board in different lighting. So I'm gonna come in as long as my shaky butt don't move. Depending on how dark you want it, like I want it to kind of pop pretty good. So I'll go over it quite a few little times. Just, you know, that's basically your boom. So we got that there. Now I'm going to flip it over this way so you guys can see it good. And with this one, I am going to, I'm gonna shoot just this real quick. So I'm going to come in with the rose. Kind of go around some of these real quick. So that's with the white. You can just barely see it. And of course you could even call it at that. That would be cool. Candy over it. You could candy over that and it would be kind of a ghost where you look this angle and this angle with the candied over and it'll pop and then it'll kind of disappear. So you could do that too. And then like I say, this way you want to come back, you want to try to line it up. Line it up. And then move it over just a touch. So I'm gonna try to line it up and then it's like back to like I say, I'm gonna kind of move it just a little bit. You don't want to move it too much. I'm gonna come back. And this will give you a 3D, kind of 3D dimensional. And like I say, this is kind of one of those things where you need to kind of be here to kind of see it. Now, like right now I can see it, but you guys probably can't. So I'm gonna try. Hopefully you guys are able to see it. I'm kind of putting it up close where it's got that white edge and then with the black and it kind of just gives it like a 3D look. You guys ain't gonna be able to see like what I'm seeing. You know what I mean? Hopefully you guys can, but I'm watching on my iPad and you just really can't see. And then back to that, you know, when we candy over it. So back to that, could have done that there too. And of course me personally, you know, it depends on what you got going on. So if you're gonna do that there, I'll move my iPad just a little bit away. I want to make sure you guys can see good. And now I'm gonna come in and you know what? And I probably will, since I got the white plugged in. I wasn't even gonna use no white tonight, but I'm gonna come in with the white right through the middle so we can have some solid whatever color I'm gonna spray candy. And this is something, like I say, this just adds, man, when it's cleared, it just like, I can't tell you like how much of a difference it makes. And like I say, you can pick and choose. Like I say, we can literally come in. Like I say, I could come in literally just right there a little bit. Go along those edges a little bit. Same thing with a little bit of white. And this is stuff you guys won't be able to see on the camera when it's all said and done. But when you're seeing something like this in person, you can see like what I'm talking about. So now I'm gonna come in before I take up. I'm gonna just shoot right here with black a little bit. Kind of fade right along that. Same thing there. And then, so now I'm gonna come. I'm gonna come in with the red. Man, good, Brother Dio. I've seen it like that. If you shoot orange, it will pop also. Would be nice in candy brandy. Boom. I like the 3D technique. Now I'm gonna come in with the red. Kind of adjust my, I'm literally like say back to that what I'm kind of doing if I'm gonna fade, if we're gonna do red to, and then no matter what it's gonna end up making orange. Yeah, sometimes you move it too much, Steve, and it will. You know what I mean? And like I say, you guys know me, I'm not really even too much. I like to just do a lot of patterns, a lot of tape. But so I'm gonna come in. We'll candy red over on this side. Way too much material as far as that. Let me adjust the fan out some. A little bit more. I'm going to come over here just with a little bit, because I'm going to kind of turn this orange. I'm going to kind of mainly gold over here, even though I should have done the red, but I mean, there's really no rules to it. So in fact, I will. I'm going to go red just over here. Of course, you guys can't even see it. Let me gonna red this. I'm not gonna do too much that way. Just a little bit more. So I'm gonna peel that first. Then this will be a shade. We're not gonna fade, we're gonna shade. So same thing there. Boom, boom, boom. Peel this one off. So back to that, it's like, that's gonna end up about 9 coats, 6 coats, 3 coats, whatever you wanna call it. Boom, boom, boom. Jason O'Brien in the house. Maryland in the house, my brother. Hope you're doing good, Jason. I want to kind of get this where I want it red-wise. For that is set. Okay, now, in fact, I'm going to go one more time. Now, let me break out with the gold. Let me Okay, so now we've got gold. I'm going to come in over here with the gold. I shot just that little 1 coat of red, which I'm going to come back with red. I'm going to get the gold, and then I'm going to come back with red to kind of get the orange. Kind of go over this as well. So we'll do that there, and then I'm going to actually start peeling up this one. When you're peeling, be careful too, you don't want to peel any of your ribbon. This would be the same thing if you're doing flames. Same thing. So, put that there. And then, let me see. We're gonna do gold first right here. Our 3 shades. In fact, let me go a little more. I should have the red. I need like one more gun. Let me, since we're through with the white. Boom, boom, boom. Second to run some thinner through this one.
They want to know what buy the stencils? They don't see on their website.
What is it?
Where do you get the stencils?
Stencils, if you want to set, my number is in the description. Let me know, and I will, yeah, my dad said, oops, forgot the white pearl lightning bolt. Yep, I sure did, Dad. Text to my number, my brother, and I will, I can add it to the site for you. Kind of like I did the 3 colors tonight for Nolan. So now I'm going to come back. This is red. I'm coming back just along that gold. to kind of turn it a little bit orange. And like I say, this, we could do it the opposite way too. We could come in now with orange right here, and then I add some gold to it. I mean, sorry, not the orange, but the red. This is red going along that edge. Now I'm gonna come in with the gold, and of course it'll end up making orange, of course. These are all the candies, the ready to spray candies. So there we go with that one. Now same thing, I'm gonna actually come back, same thing. Over here, I'm gonna spray just a little bit of red, just barely a little bit. I'm gonna come back, spray, in which I could have orange ready too, but like I said, you could get all these colors just with the gold and the red. And like I say, it would be nice, of course, to have them all ready. But it's something you can make. If that's all you got, you can make it. And of course, and even orange and gold, I mean, to make orange would be literally adding the candy apple into a little bit of the gold. And then you got tangerine orange. Okay. So now I'm gonna come over this one more time. We'll see, I'm gonna do gold just right there. Let me open this up just a little bit. That's just straight up gold. If I don't like it, then I can come back, add a little bit of orange to it. I mean, a little bit of red to make it orange. Same thing here. I'm literally just a little bit of red over that. Same thing here. Boom. It's gonna move pretty quick from here on out. Okay, boom. Candy gold right here. Just for that edge to show up really good, like I said, I'm barely going over it. One little with the red. I'm gonna untape this. The key thing is once we get this up, this is where it's going to be cool, and it's going to be coming. Definitely those stencils pieces going to be sweet. So we got, back to that, I'm going to go gold, and then we're pretty much ready to take up all of this, and then we're going to shade. And like I said, it's going to move pretty quick after this. And this is really the point I want to make to you guys. The layering. You know, I shouldn't have went kind of overboard, but you guys know me with the patterns over it, but it's going to look cool in the end. Boom. Okay, one last shade. Like I say, be careful when you're peeling it because you might peel up some of the tape from the ribbon. So now I'm going to come in, same thing. A little bit of gold. And I'm kind of shooting along that edge, but I'm still shooting the whole way where it's kind of a fade shade. Half a shade, half a fade. Boom, there we go. Now the rest I am going to keep And it's back to this, it's your discretion. If you want to, like when this piece here, all of these here, I mean, if you want to candy over that, you want to keep it silver, that's up to you. We're gonna actually keep all of these silver. And this one I could have actually made a choice to candy it because I have the three halves would have, which are gonna really be cool. And this is back to, it's up to you. I mean, back to this even. Say like that surfboard that I have on the actual YouTube, the picture for tonight's live, that is just partway done. I ended up candying over all of that, which personally, man, I mean, it looks cool and people love it. It matters what you like. If you want your silvers popping out, you want it like popping out more detail, then you keep it with the silvers. If you want it candied over, which some people just love, man, it's like some people are just like, man, that's sick. And that's really when I first started, everything was ghost patterns. Everything I would do, you know, a silver base or whatever it was, I would do black, charcoal, whatever color candy, and whites for the hologram, and then would candy over it, man. And that was like so cool back then. But it's like, man, you just lose a lot of all that time you spent, the detail you spent, man. And like say like right now, that looks pretty cool right there, you know what I mean? And I'm hoping, let's see, oh yeah, it's throwing me off because I did the angle. So I'm gonna flip it back the way it, oh no, it actually goes that way because, no, this way because I flipped the camera back. And like I say, you can kind of see how that looks. And I could have went with more candy over it. So now we got all of that untaped. Gonna go over the tack rag real good. Make sure, same thing, make sure any adhesive from the tape. You just never know. And then, so now the key thing right now to get the depth, we are gonna shade black around all of this before we untape it. This is so crucial. And it's one of the reasons it's, man, because this is taped, you can utilize that by doing your black shading. There's gonna be other areas we're gonna have to go in and shade, and of course gonna do the lace in black. Like I say, the key thing tonight is the ribbon and the layering. So I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna just adjust this gun down to airbrush mode, which you could, I mean, back to that. I mean, personally, I mean, if it's back to that, you wanna use the airbrush, you get in there a lot better. And me, I'm actually gonna go around it quite a few times because I really want it to get some depth. And like I say, hang in there. If you're able to still hang in there because we're almost done. And you'll be able to see. And it's basically, you're just going around the edge of this. And like I say, I'm pretty shaky. If I can do it, you can do it. And when I'm spraying, I'm not as shaky because I don't know how to put it. I'm focused. And there is times where I'm super shaky. And it's like, I gotta like calm down. And it's like, but man, a lot of these times, like this, you can see it's not as shaky. I mean, I'm just literally going around, and this is your discretion. How much black do you want? Because if you don't put enough, man, like what we're trying to achieve, these patterns are going underneath the ribbon, and this ribbon is just resting upon it. And like I say, you could even come in with more layers. You know, there could have been another pattern that came through. We could have shot that kind of like we did with the piece that I gave my daughter for Christmas. You know, where it's, man, you got some stuff twisting and over and unders, you know, where you're going 5D on it. But like I say, this is a good example of how the steps are. You tape the ribbon first, you mask the ribbon, you tape your patterns over it, you shoot your patterns, you shoot your black to utilize this masked up right now. And which, trust me, I could have went around it too once we have this up, because we are going to do the lace in black. And like, I'm going to break it down here in a second too. I mean, there's a bunch of different things we could do, a bunch of different options. It's back to your choice. It's like, okay, am I happy with how much black I put? And back to that, you know, if you got an airbrush, you know, like I have, you know, same thing. I have this, the one I bought, which has actually been working pretty decent. I'm still trying to get used to the whole trigger. It's just a whole different thing. So this goes in detail. So back to this, man, you could go in super detail, go around with the airbrush. If that's your thing, you got to think you are saving a lot more materials coming in with an airbrush. You know what I mean? And you can really get it. So I'm just giving you guys an example. And like I say, I ended up oiling this up. I put a little oil. I ordered some gun oil, oiled it up, man. It's actually working pretty good. You know what I mean? Let's see. Cordell says, when you were candying a whole car, was it concentrate or a pre-made candy? Let me tell you. So back in the day, most of those were PPG Radiance, and it would be in Del Glow, it would be DAU2. That's what the Radiance used to be. And I used to get the guy over there to do, we used to call it triple concentrate. So I would tell him to put not 3 times amount, but it would be 3, you know, triple concentrated, and it would be finishing clear, basically finishing clear, which I still to this day, Cordell, if I was gonna candy over a whole car, I am absolutely, this is me personally, I am not gonna use inner coat clear to candy over it. I'm gonna use literally finishing clear. And let me just tell you, like, if you guys know, like Matt's 68 I went and did up in Denver, that car I did, man, I spent all this time, all these patterns. It was silver, just base coat silver. Ended up shooting blacks, reds, solid reds, whites, the patterns. And then what I did, listen to this, then I shot red flake over it, over all the patterns. Then I candied red over all of it with finishing clear, you know, candy poured into finishing clear. And of course that one he bought, it was House of Colors, you know, back to what you're asking, the pre-made candy, and went over the whole thing. And you talk about depth, these whites are hologram. You get a light and it's like, man, stuff pops out, disappears. I mean, if that's your thing and you like it, all that work I put on it to watch it get disappeared, but I knew that's what he wanted. Like I say, that's kind of what made me famous, like Casanova. That's what it was, man. All those patterns, the first and second Casanova, man, I had the money signs, the girl's lips kissing it. I mean, 300Zs, the lowrider guy. I mean, lace, torch, marble, everything you can think in those patterns. And then it got candied over. That was what was, you know, that was the thing back then. And then, of course, I started doing the multicolors to where the silvers are popping out. And it's like, man, it's just, man, that's what I like. You know what I mean? And it pops out. So now we got this. I'm going to move along. So back to this. We literally, like I say, there's a point to me taping around. Instead of taping here, taping here, taping here, I can come grab this literally over here, and you can literally just pull it the whole way off. You might have a couple places that, you know, it breaks up and you might have to peel up. But this is smart thinking, smart taping. Think ahead. Don't make life hard on yourself by taping here a little bit. It's so easy to do that. Then you got to peel up some here. You got to peel up some here. See this? I can just continue to pull. I can continue to pull. Like I say, it's like boom. Continue to just pull it. Continue to pull it. Real easy. Made my life easy. It's like bad enough, you know, all this tape and craziness. And then you're going to make it that much harder on yourself. It's like, man, and these are just tricks you learn. It's like, trust me, I had to learn the hard way. I had to learn, okay, holy Moses, I had to get a razor blade out 50 spots and peel up tape, and instead, this is just ready to go, all pre-taped in a way where I can just peel it all off. You know, and that applies too, and which I don't know if I was paying attention when I was talking to you guys. Same thing with the borders. You know, you can peel it and where it just goes the whole way around. If you're doing a cross, you got to think across. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like 10 deals. You should, depending on what it is, you should be able to pull it and it all comes off. I mean, there's some circumstances where that doesn't apply to, but if you can do it and make your life that much easier, do it, man. You know what I mean? So now we got the ribbon taped up. Boom. So what I'm going to do here, like I say, there's so many things we could do. The coolest thing always that I always love on the ribbons is I always put lace. Let me tell you a couple of things that why we're doing this. So you could sit here and tape all this back up. That's one option, especially if you're using some colors that don't go with each other. Man, that's a lot of taping again. I mean, it's not that much. We could sit here and tape all that. But with the lace, you can lay it on and I can literally go in, shoot the black right through it. Always works out. You always want to be careful to you're not getting lace outside that area, which it works out perfect, because even if it doesn't get lace perfect around the edge, it's a perfect look, kind of like the picture on the post, like I said, that I used for tonight's live. And it's just easy. And then, like I say, then you got, listen to this, then you got to where, are we just going to leave it black? You know what I mean? Or I could go in with a little bit of gold, which I probably will, because it's not going to affect anything. And I can go in and just kind of go in and get as best as I can with the gold, or whatever color you're working with. Say like the blue, like the picture on the post for tonight's live is literally the finished product was, of course, cobalt blue and oriental blue. That's a good combo. And with this, or you could just leave it black, like the picture I told you guys that's on the YouTube live tonight. That's not finished. He wanted it candied over, so I candied over it, which I kind of liked it the way it looked before I candied it, because you lose a lot of that detail. And it depends on colors too. Back to that, like I tell you guys, if you're doing red, you're doing cobalt blue, that's going to end up dark. Stuff's going to end up buried in there, which is cool. But man, then you got your golds, your oranges, your greens, your teals, your orientals, that everything still pops and you can still see everything really good, and it still looks real vibrant with the candy. You know what I mean? So like I say, and then of course I tell you guys with lace, you know, with me, I like to spray a little bit the low tack on the lace. Now there, let me tell you, you don't want to overdo it. It will leave a lot of glue. And of course, underdoing it, it just ain't gonna stick right. Because lace, you got to think, it's like, man, if you, especially when it's new, it's all right. You can try to hold it down as tight as you want. You know, like I say, my first job, I think, was an Astro van, 1988, whatever it was, 89, Martine's Astro van. You know, my first time doing lace, my first time doing, I did the lace and pearl. You know, I taped it on one side of the van, taped it on the other, got it as tight as I could, hoped for the best. And you get a lot of like blurry spots. And I don't like blurry spots. And then once you use that lace again, man, it kind of, how do you put it? Once the paint dries on it, and if you're trying to reuse it again, man, it's lifted up and you're just going to get a bunch of loose, blurriness, the best way I can put it. So of course, like I say, I like to spray a little bit of adhesive on it. We're going to be using this lace, which this lace I've used already quite a few times. And there's so many, back to that, I have probably like 30 things of lace I go collect from all, I mean, everywhere. Goodwills, Savers, you know, all of those. I know at the class I had them for sale, you know, like my own personal stash. man, I've always prided myself over the years on my lace stash, and of course you can only use them so much. You know what I mean? I know, miss those Astro Vans, man, those were sick. So I mean, depending on this too, you know, I've told you guys before too, like this one, it's pretty good. Some of them, it depends on little gaps, what the size of the micro gaps are. Some of them you got to use a lot of pressure to get the detail in some of that. So that's something to always think about. Like right there, you can see the detail real good. In here, without shooting it high pressure and getting it in those little detailed areas, it's gonna look blurry. You know what I mean? So it's like, man, it's one of those things where it's like, there's so many things to think about. You know what I mean? Certain lace is like perfect. Certain ones, it's like, man, it's just, you're not gonna get the detail. And like I say, I sprayed this low tack on there. Sometimes I'll have to put it on there. Okay, I didn't get enough on there. And then at that same token too, you don't want the tip all clogged either, because it'll splatter. And if it does get a little bit, you can always go back, wax and grease remover. It'll take off some of the glue, you know what I mean? Some of that extra adhesive. But so boom. So I already sprayed it on a separate table. You always want to make sure what you're spraying it on too, that you're not, how do you put it, man, it gets adhesive all over, you know what I mean? So I'll press it down tight. Seems like I got enough. Depending on summer, winter, there'll be times where you don't spray enough on it, and then there's times where you get way too happy. I've seen people flood it, and it's like, holy Moses, you lift it up and there's like all kinds of adhesive. And that's fixable, like I say, but it's, man, you don't want to be waxing, greasing around all that masking tape. But if you have to, you have to. And so like I said, I'm going to come in. You can see pretty much where the line is. Back to this, we could have masked up all of that, made it super clean. But you really don't have to go through all of that. You know what I mean? And I'm one of those ones, I know a lot of people candy the lace. Man, I'm not that guy. I like black and then candying over it. I don't know. That's a personal opinion for you guys, if that's what you like. But over silver flake, it always looks really, how do you put it? It looks blurry. Back to that, it looks real blurry. So back to this. So if this was just held on without this adhesive, we couldn't go over it with high pressure. So like I say, I'm going to try to go over it as good as I can with the high pressure to kind of get in some of those little areas. And like I say, I'm just literally going to go in kind of through the middle. And of course, this is kind of a watered down black. And what's good, you can kind of see you're just basically going in. Like I said, I wish this was a little bit more, not as watered down black. This would be more like a candy black. But we're gonna work with it. I think this black I have in here is PPG mixed with House of Color. It's like half House of Color and half PPG Deltron base coat. Which I gotta say, the PPG smacks that House of Color. Man, you can go back and wipe it with lacquer, not lacquer thinner, but wax and grease. If something, and it won't wipe off. Man, where I hate to say, some of the other ones, man, you're not able to go back and wipe. Like I say, I'm kind of going in some of those little, I'm going to even crank it up a little bit more over some of those little areas. I'm going to make sure I get enough in there. Some of those little, with the micro holes. And we'll be able to see it. Like I say, this probably ain't my favorite lace because of that. And then of course, here's the magic. Let's see. It says, my friend has a stretch Astro he was done in the early 90s. Nice. And then of course our brother Dale on here, man, he bought one, half of an Astro. Lisa, I found most of my lace I got recently at the thrift stores. Exactly, Lisa. That's exactly. So of course, boom. Peeling that off. And see, I got a little black past it with the lace. I should have been a little more careful, but it's not a big deal. But that's just an example. Like I say, you know, I'm pretty much try to be as straight up with you guys. It's like there's many ways to do it. And of course, like I said, we're gonna go back. I'm gonna go back with a little bit of gold. Of course, you know what? Let me tack it up real quick. Let's tack it up real quick. Basically, you're just filling it in. You could just go around the edge as well. I'm going to kind of go a few times right there like that. And then I'm going to kind of come back with a little bit of the red through it. Kind of give it a little bit of orange. And then I'm going to come back with a little bit of black in certain little areas. And then you guys will be able to see what we... This one I'm kind of going around. The fine line, the 1/8" fine line. This just depends on what you're trying to achieve as well. And then like I say, I'm a little, like I say, man, I got a little, you guys can't really see it, which I mean, it's not that big of a deal. But like I say, I shot a little lace outside the lines. So I'm coming back just a little bit around the border a little bit with some black. And then this last little step is going to be very important. Then you guys will be able to get the depth that we're doing. Let's make a deeper shadow. Exactly. So now, of course, let me go. So I'm going to come in. You want to shade a little bit of black. And especially back to that, you have the airbrush. You know, of course, because this is going, so your shading you want inside there. This is going to be your light. Right around this is going to be your black, where you want a little bit of shading right there. Same thing here. Like I say, I'm going in with this gun, so it's like you could go in with the airbrush, get a little bit more accurate. Boom, boom, boom. So same thing there. And then I'm coming along this up here, swinging just right there. Same thing here, just to about there. Same thing here, shading a little bit right there. And I'm gonna kind of take a look back. I'm gonna be, okay, I wanna go a little bit more before I untape it. A little bit more right there, a little bit more there. A little bit more here. And now, this is where, this part here, so I want you guys, so we're gonna slowly dissect this. So I'm gonna come here. I'm gonna peel that up to right there. This one I'm gonna peel back to right there. I'm gonna leave it, right? That we wanna go, we wanna shade just a little black, just right there. So I'm gonna come in, little black, cherry, good enough. Now same thing here, I'm gonna come we can peel this up to here, right there. And I can come along this here. I'm gonna keep this here just for a second. So we're gonna work our way out. So same thing with this. You could come in, give me one of those business cards out of the thing in there. Rudy, it's inside the, open that door up. And they'll be right there to the right. Right there on the bottom floor. Any card, Brian Trejo thing, whatever it may be. Now you can do this too. You could come in, literally just shade right there a little bit, so you're not getting a bunch of black over there. Or you could just come in like I usually go with the airbrush, or I mean with the gun. And now same thing here. I'm gonna peel to right there. Now this, I can come all the way over here. I'm gonna peel to right there. I'm gonna park that for a minute. Same thing. Now this same thing, you could come in like this. I'm just coming in, back to that. You could have an airbrush. We're just shooting a little black right there. We're gonna shoot right here again. And because of that, I don't want a big black right there. So I'm literally just gonna get this, shoot a little bit of black right there. Boom. And then we're gonna peel this back. Same thing, like that section is done. Now this, I'm gonna park right here just for a second. We're gonna come back this way, from over this way. Boom. I'm gonna keep that right there. Except for, let me move this for you guys to see. Yeah, it does look like a snake skin, which is cool. That's why I always like doing the lace inside the ribbon. And like I say, this is up to you guys. I mean, it's your discretion what you want to do. If you want to just keep it a solid color, you know, a lot of people do. If you wanted a name in there, you could put some vinyl, you know, leave some vinyl in there with your name, so-and-so, whatever it may be. So here I'm doing the same thing. Going to right there. Of course, I left my card. My Brian Trejo, August 1st, 2020, Riverside. So back to that. Coming in just a little black right there. Actually, I want a little bit more, not enough. Okay, let's set that there. I'm gonna come along here, same thing. I'm gonna peel it to right there. This one, I'm gonna come literally to right there. I'm gonna park this way. I'm gonna come in with this one, just shooting it back to that. And then I'm gonna come in with the card real quick, right there. Boom. So I'm gonna do that there. We'll move this over here. Boom. So we got that there. I am going to come in with the tack rag. Tack it off. Same thing. I'm gonna just shoot the black we usually do along the border. Your discretion on how much. Flip it, turn it, make it easy. And we're gonna do, we are gonna do, let me see, would it take 3 days to do this? Rob's knocks it out in 2 hours. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. You guys are motivators too, man. I appreciate you guys. Hey, we're gonna do a giveaway, a shirt. Let's see, we got 75 on here, the closest. So we're gonna do 80. Rudy's gonna write down a number right now, the closest one. Pick a number for a shirt. David Allen, what's happening, my brother? Pick a number, one between 1 and, there you go. 1 and 80, closest one. Gets a Vanderslice shirt. Okay, boom. So now I'm gonna peel the border up. I'm gonna tack it. And then it's back to that what to do. I'm gonna go around it with some gold. Simple as that. Go around it. Boom, boom, boom. Then I'm gonna come around it just with a little bit of red over that gold. Boom. So there we go. Let that dry just a second. Hopefully you guys are able to see that pretty good. I'm gonna mix up some clear just real quick. Get me, oh, I did use that. Get me, oh, never mind, they're over here. You got it. Almost there, guys. Thanks for your patience. Boom, boom, boom. So let's see. The number is 15. 15. Who got 15 or something close to it? Looks like Fat Lack. Fat Lack. Boom, boom, boom. So you are the winner, Fat Lack. Congratulations, brother. Yes, there we go, man, brother. Sick. You're alive. Boom. So it's 15, not 50, sorry. Yeah, it's 15. Sorry, my brother James. I know you're probably, yeah! That's funny, Fat Lack. We got the 505 bullies. You know what, though? I appreciate you guys watch. So now I'm going to, let me get on a couple. Tacking it off. I'm going to put just kind of a medium coat real quick. Let that just tack real quick, and then I'll come back with some super wet one. That way you guys can get to see a pop. We'll put a light on it. And then, you know what? I did package up one. I haven't packaged up any of the colored flake yet, but I did package up one. The hologram silver. Let's do one more. Let's see, we got 72 on here. Same thing. Closest to 80 gets it. Go, guys. Go, go, go. This is, I think, I'm not sure. I think this is the 8 ounce. Brother Chris in the house. Arizona in the house. Keep up the good work, brother. I definitely appreciate the support tonight. And we'll put a light on it too. In fact, we'll even let me like I say, let's let this just tack real quick. And then I'll put a nice coat on it. We'll turn the light off with the light on it. See this thing pop. Like I say, and you know, just real quick, you know, I'm waiting for this coat. You know, back to this. This could have went any colors. It could have went any type of way. You know, I'm mainly trying to show you guys on this how to do the ribbon, how to do the layering, to where you guys see like all those patterns look like they're going underneath that ribbon. And of course, you know, you got, of course, the shades in there, the different colors. You know, this might not be your colors or whatever it is. And like I say, you could have candied over. We could have candied over all of this. And it would have looked cool too. There's so many options that you can do. So, like I said, just kind of open up your mind to kind of all the different ways you could do this. Different colors, different, you know, styles. And then like on that surfboard, you know, I had a divide down the middle. The lines were going through it. And I had another ribbon on that side, so it looked way cool. It kind of was a mirror image, even though the ribbons ain't the same, you know, because they're just kind of flapping down, you know, ribbon. Of course, when you have lots of space to make these ribbons kind of go even more, like I say, you could shrink down this, make it smaller, and extend them out some, which is cool. But like I say, it you know, it just depends on what you got going on. So I'm gonna put see. Oh my gosh. And let me tell you, look at this. Look at me. This is me. I forgot to take the border off. I'm already clearing and forgot to take the border. Here it is. That's funny. All happy. Clearing over the border.
Nobody said a thing.
You guys are all fired for not telling me. Just kidding. Especially Rudy. Uncle Rudy's fired. He's right here. No, just kidding. I better take responsibility for my actions. Yeah, that's funny. At least this is something we can fix. All happy clearing over that border.
Let's see if we were paying attention.
Yeah, we were trying to see who was paying attention. You all passed. You guys all failed the test. Laugh out loud. That's funny.
You guys always,
Huh?
they always a surprise.
No, that's a good one. Okay, so now back again. Of course, I'll put this coat over it one more time because I get a little happy with the clear, you know what I mean? Okay, so now, so we're gonna turn up the light. So now,
The main light? Oh,
yeah, the main light, yeah. So,
Can't do that.
ooh, yeah. Oh, watch, wait, turn it back on real quick. Need to, oh yeah, this is it'll work over there though. Everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it. So I'm turning off the light real quick. Man, you can see, okay. Now I'm looking at the camera. You guys see how those reds and those oranges are popping? That's where I shot a little bit of white and it's making it look like a solid color. Like I say, I wish the light, it's not reaching. I have to turn the power off. And then let me see if you guys are able to see. I moved that stencil and there's the white and the black. Hopefully you guys are able to see that. Where it's kind of got a light little ring of white. Like I say, so that's pretty much, yeah, the roses look 3D. I appreciate it. Eldon, appreciate you, brother. Delt, same thing, brother. Yes, you see how that's just popping. And like I say, different lighting. Man, you get to see different effects. And like I say, there's so many things you could do. If you don't like the black, you could do something else. If you don't even like the lace and the ribbon, you could do something else. You could candy over the whole thing. You know, it's really up to you. You know what I mean? But tonight, I hope you guys really got to see, like I say, the whole, how we did the ribbon, the layering, to where we got those patterns going underneath. You know, it's really got some depth to it. Like I say, you can just take it, you know, it's up to you what you're going to do. You know what I mean? And I'm going to try that white with the black lace. Yep. So boom. And of course, man, it's like so many options you can do. And like I say, if you were seeing, man, this rose right now, man, you guys can't see it. I can see it on the screen. You guys can see the white shading that it left from me, you know, literally just doing that little bit of moving the stencil over. shooting white first, moving it just over. You don't want to over move it. There's like a perfect little, percent that you want to move it over. Blacking it and boom. So like I say, man, I definitely appreciate you guys. We're going to turn back on the light real quick. You want me to hold that? I'm going to turn the light back on and we're going to see what that number is. Bam. Grab that light again, Rudy. Thank you, brother. So 46 is the number for the flake. Thank you, Steven. Appreciate you. Let's see who got anywhere close to 46. I see a 48. A 45. Dang, that's a good one. I think Fat Lack, I think you won the shirt tonight and what is it, Rudy? 46, yeah. Yep. You won both. That'll make it easy shipping. I'll be able to send them both at the same time. Congratulations, brother. Yep.
He did?
Yeah, he did. He won the shirt and the flake tonight.
He typed in
boom.
He typed in tape too.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. So, man, definitely congratulations. And, before I let you guys go, man, I appreciate you guys. Like I say, thank you for supporting, guys. We will, no matter what, we will next Thursday be doing the giveaway for not the giveaway, but the raffle for the Kansas City, for the Royals, 12 by 32. Appreciate you guys' support. Brother Cody, what is happening, my brother? And, like I say, thank you for supporting. I still got quite a bit of the ready candy. I do want to tell you guys I'm excited. I finally am going to be getting the clear, everything, all the materials. And he's sending me a few samples of some other super thick clear to try that's coming in Monday. I'm going to be trying that out before we put in our big order. Thank you guys for supporting. Like I say, you need tape, you need flake, you need whatever, hit me up. God bless you. Good night, my brother E. Brown, brother Eldon, and let's leave out with some prayer. I just want to tell you guys are an encouragement. My phone number is literally in the description. Man, a lot of you guys, I appreciate the amazing comments. You guys bless me more than I could bless you. And like I say, man, if the Lord can set me free from addiction, man, he can do anything. So I don't, and I'm not saying any of you guys I don't know what you're going on in your life, whether you're, everything's going good, whether you're going through struggle right now. But let me just tell you guys, appreciate you guys, and God is good. Even when we're not faithful, He is. So let's go out in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we come before you. We just thank you, Lord, for another day, for waking us up today, Lord. I do want to lift up everybody on this live tonight, whether they're going through trials and struggle. Like, I talked to several people today. I just pray that you give them strength to make it through some of these trials, Lord. I pray just blessings over everybody on here. And we do ask for forgiveness, Lord, in those areas that we do fall short, Lord. We're human and we do fall short. We just ask for forgiveness in those areas. And I just thank you, and I pray blessings over everybody, their family, a hedge of protection over everybody on here. And God bless you. And we thank you, Lord, in Jesus Christ's name, amen. Love you guys. God bless you guys. Have a super good night. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for watching tonight. Definitely a blessing. If anybody wants his board, let me know. I'll let it go for $200. It's yours. Hit me up. Numbers in the description. You guys have a good night and God bless. Definitely, brother. Thank you again for the care package, too. Thank you, Martin. Richard, thank you, brother. Cody, you got it. Thank you, Steve. Appreciate you guys.